All right, hey travelers, Chris here with another review. We're already at the next hotel, but I wanted to also give you the chance to look at our review of the InterContinental Phuket. Now, if you're interested, this is currently the Crown Plaza Phuket. I also have a review up here, but let's see what the InterConti has in store for us. All right, before we dive into all the details of this hotel, I want to give you a couple of high-level information. We are in Phuket, Thailand. The InterContinental, we're looking at around 221 rooms. There's also villas with private pools. For the average price, it was a bit difficult because it depends a little bit on when you go there. It's very seasonal. And lastly, we came with a Diamond Elite status as well as the InterContinental Ambassador status. In regards to the location of the hotel, as you can see here, we are looking at Phuket, Thailand. And on Phuket, which is a bit of an island, you can see that we are on the west side where there's actually really nice waves for surfing, and you're quite close also to the airport and some of the key beaches. So the location I would describe as really good compared to some of the other hotels on the island. By car it then takes around half an hour from the airport to the hotel, and you can see here already the driveway, very much resort style, very large and very inviting. It looks super promising, so let's see what we can find. But before that, I actually wanted to highlight one thing about this hotel I have had not seen before. In fact, this hotel is basically split by a highway or big street. You can see here, this is the mountainside below, then there's this big street in between, and then there's the beach side below. So it's quite interesting, and I don't think I've seen that before in any hotel. There is a tunnel below the street that actually connects both sides of the compound, so you can still go easily to the beach, but definitely something that's not very usual. But let's get back to the mountainside and to the check-in, where you can find also the reception. It's this really beautiful open air hall where you can already see the spa building, which is beautiful. Check-in was very uncomplicated, and you then get a buggy that brings you to your hotel room. For us, that was not too far from the reception room. You can see it here roughly, and we went to our room on the 4th and highest floor of this building. Okay, so here we are in the room. We got a small little upgrade from a base king room to a king room with pool view. Unfortunately, IHG still is always a little bit stingy when it comes to upgrade, even when you come with a platinum status or diamond status, whatever they call it. Regardless, let's have a look at the room. And I have to say, it's really pretty and very modern. Right at the get-go, when you come in, you have a little bit of a wardrobe here. It's a little bit messy already, but you have plenty of space for your suitcase. You have a big closet space here, and you even get a little beach bag. So if you go to the beach downstairs, you can bring your things in there. Then, of course, let's have a look at the big room. I really like this layout. It's super open. You can see it here already that the bathroom is not super separated. I really like that. It gives it a way more open feeling. And I do like the materials that they use. This really feels like, you know, materials you would find in traditional Thai architecture, like these kind of wooden-based items, and also the art that you see around here. You get, of course, a big TV, and we also got a little, I guess a little, whatever you would call this, the towels here. We mentioned that it is our honeymoon, and I think the hotel staff was really nice to, for one, prepare this little kind of a gift, and they also brought some little snacks. So that's super nice. It's just complimentary as a nice gesture, and we really appreciate that. Speaking of the bed then, as always, you know my take on beds in Asia. They're a little bit on the harder side, but it feels quite nice and it looks really comfy. Right next to it you also have this couch here, and you of course get a bit of a view. Unfortunately today we have a bit of a rainy day. It is rainy season here on Phuket, and it is raining quite heavily outside. Nevertheless, you do get a balcony here. You can see it, and it's actually surprisingly big, I have to say. So even though to the right side it continues, and you can also see how you can actually see the pool from here. So that's why it is called a pool view. This, I think, is the kids' pool, so I do hope that it's not too noisy. But overall, I think it's quite nice. The view itself is not the nicest, but it is quite green, and you can see the big temple building where the spa is located in. Then let's have a look at the bathroom. I really like this freestanding tub. Always a cool thing to have, especially right next to the window and to the balcony. Unfortunately, there are no curtains of any sort, so you have to put down the full blinds to get the privacy, especially in the evening. Otherwise, people from the other side of the hotel can pretty much see everything in here. But nevertheless, I like it, and it's quite big. Besides that, when you look at the bathroom, it's really big. Only one sink, but you have a lot of space here to really, put all your stuff, your belongings. You get some Harn branded hand wash. I'm not familiar with this brand. It does look very nice though, so I'm sure it is nice. You also get some more bottles of water, which always good, especially in the bathroom when they already provide that. And then you of course get a rain shower. Wouldn't expect anything else. It's the same brand of shampoo, conditioner, everything in here as well. And then of course in here we have a standard toilet. Unfortunately no Japanese toilet with the bidet function, but still. One more thing I want to show you is you get the tea and coffee assembly. You have an Illy coffee machine. I feel like that's quite common in InterContinentals, at least in Thailand. And you also get TWG tea, which is a fantastic brand, so we're always happy to see that. And that's pretty much it with the room. To be honest, it looks fantastic. I love this mix of modern and traditional styles, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the hotel has in store for us. So let's talk first about the swimming pools, and of course being a resort there's so many of them, so let me quickly try to kind of show you what your options are. As mentioned, we have two different segments of the hotel, and you can see already there's a little rooftop pool on top of the reception building. To the top right you see there's a kids pool, and you also have this Laguna pool that kind of wraps all around this kind of inner part of this hotel on the mountainside. If we hop over to the other side of the street, then there are two more pools. You have on the second floor, it's part of the Club InterContinental, you have a pool there dedicated for status holders, and also a beach pool right next to the beach. So let me quickly give you a little bit of an overview here. This is the Laguna pool. Unfortunately, it was raining while we were there, at least half of the time. But nevertheless, you can already see how they are styling this. It's very nice and in a playful way. You have a lot of green, you have a lot of beach chairs, which is lovely. And also there are towels right next to the pool. You can order from the pool menu. There's also water, and it's kind of a self-service. Although when we sat down once, then also the staff brought us some towels and everything. So it's not fully self-service, there's also a bit of help in that regard. And then we went on to the infinity pool, so that's on top of the reception building, as you can see here. And you get quite a lovely view from up there. There is a bit of a seating area, and again, just ignore the rain and the terrible weather. You also have some kind of covered lounge couches, whatever you would call them, and you can see also the pool here, which is a bit smaller but quite lovely, and it's geared towards the beach, but unfortunately you cannot see it. But on the other side you can walk towards this inner area of the hotel and get really a nice view. Another pool, and my personal favorite, is the beach pool, which is, as the name says, pretty much next to the beach. It's fairly big, as you can see here, and you also see that it's right next to the beach chairs and right next to the seaside. So there's a lot going on, there's a lot to see, and I really like that. There's again a lot of green around it, and you also have a kind of a beach bar, beach restaurant or beach cafe right next to it on the left side. It's also just a quick hop from there to the beach, so you can kind of combine the pool and the beach as one. And in the evening there's some activities, there's a bit of music going on, and you see people gathering, so it's quite a nice atmosphere. And from the second floor you can see the beach pool, and up here is the Club InterContinental and their own private pool with beach view. It's really beautiful. Unfortunately we didn't have Club InterContinental access, but I got up there just to take the video. if you have the chance to go to the lounge, you also get access to this small but really nice and very exclusive feeling pool, and it looked empty for most of the time, so you really have your time there for yourself. Now, of course, going to a beach resort, we have to talk about the beach, and you can already see just how close the beach is to the hotel. And I really like that, especially with the trees over here, and you can see it from the beach pool. You have a couple of beach chairs, you have the trees, and you're immediately at the water. Now, one thing to mention is that this is not a private beach, so you have other people walking around from different hotels and also locals, of course, but I really like the atmosphere. It's quite chill, and you can also use the beach chairs for the pool and the beach at once, as mentioned. And you can also go into the water. There are a couple of waves, and you see these no swimming signs everywhere, but somehow everyone went into the water anyways, so I guess it's not a big deal. And I have to say the water is fairly clean, not the clearest, but at least clean. So what more do you need for a relaxing vacation? Of course, it's the breakfast. We have to talk about the breakfast. And for this one, we go to the Pinto restaurant right under the reception. You can see here it's not the biggest restaurant indoors, but there's also some outdoor seating if you want, although there were a lot of mosquitoes, so just keep that in mind. Overall, the selection is really good, I have to say. There was almost nothing that bothered me in terms of quality. Maybe the fruit selection could have been a little bit bigger, but other than that, the dishes were delicious. You had some local Thai cuisines, you have some hot dishes, and you also have some classics like this and Egg Benedict or this coffee. Overall, I have to say, quality-wise, it's quite good. There's nothing to complain about. It's not like the Waldorf Astoria Bangkok, where I was absolutely amazed, but I have to say that you get a solid and very extensive breakfast here. Okay, quick update on the room. Actually, we're on day 4 of our stay, and actually the hotel, the staff came back to me and asked for some feedback, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, I also told them it would be nice if in the IHG program they gave out upgrades a little bit more liberally, and the hotel really delivered. They really came in clutch and they gave us a big upgrade. I think this is the 1-bedroom suite with the ocean view. Unfortunately, it's nighttime, so we cannot show you the view right now, but let me play a clip right now of what it looks like. It's really beautiful. So, what do we have? As you can see, you have a bit of a separated living room, and I just go over the differences, not into all the details here, but you can see that you have a pretty big space here with a TV as well. You have a big window, and if you listen closely, maybe you can hear it on the microphone. You can actually hear the ocean. So if you're a light sleeper, I don't know if that bothers you or if it helps, but just note that you will be able to hear the ocean as well as some of the beach clubs and bars. You can sometimes hear a little bit of the music, just be aware of that. But overall, it's quite nice. Besides that, we have then also the separate bedroom, and if we come on through here, you can see you have a big bed, you have a separate kind of a seating area there, and I really like, just coming back to the details, I really like this. I think it's called a sea fan, the red kind of coral pattern that you also see then later here in the bathroom here. And then, of course, we also have a bathtub. Now, compared to the standard room, this one is not as close to the window as we had it initially, but since you're looking at the ocean, the privacy is a little bit better, at least, so you don't have to worry about people, being able to look into your room, and still this just looks really gorgeous. You also have this separate kind of, I guess it's a makeup area, I would call it, and you have also double sinks. So this is really a spacious bathroom. I like it, and you can also close this easily down with this kind of foldable 3 type door here. So that's cool. So yeah, overall this is, I have to say, a lot nicer. I think it really comes down to the view for me. Being able to see the beach and the ocean, I think that just adds a lot more of a nice feeling to it. So definitely thumbs up for that. Overall, there's only 3 of these types of suites, so it's a bit hard to get them from time to time. This is a 3-level building. We are on the 2nd level here, and that's about it. So again, thumbs up for the InterContinental Phuket. Really great that they gave us this upgrade. I really appreciate it, and that's about it for this room. Given that you will likely also spend most of your time on the hotel compound, it is important to talk about the restaurants. There are a couple of options, starting first with the Pinto restaurant, which is also where you have your breakfast. It's your very standard kind of Thai restaurant. Prices are not too extreme, around $10 to $20 for a main dish, and you get really good and solid food. You can see it here. They also have some Western dishes, although I would recommend to go for the local ones, because I do believe those taste always the best in the countries where they are from. You can also sit outside again, of course, and in the evening I think it's quite nice. They cool it down quite a lot inside, so keep that in mind. You can see here some of the dishes, the curries we had, and they were actually quite delicious, including also the watermelon juice. In the evening especially, the Pine restaurant right next to the beach club could be interesting. You can see it right here. You have a beach and ocean view, which is amazing. And also in the evening, occasionally they have these fire shows, which are very interesting. I kind of forgot to film the food because I was a bit distracted with the fire show. But overall, it's a very kind of standard beach and pool restaurant. I believe it shares the restaurant services with the poolside, so if you order burgers and some local dishes, you can do that. You can see here also a daytime picture. Unfortunately, I forgot to do that, and a little bit a show of the menu. It's price-wise the same as the Pinto restaurant. I think it's quite affordable. Again, we are here in Thailand, so it's nothing too crazy. Lastly, I want to talk about the Hom restaurant that you can see here, and this is in this big white building, this temple-like structure. We did not go there. It's more of a fine dining, a bit higher end, but it definitely takes the centerpiece of this whole hotel structure. I do believe you can have a very nice time there if you want to pay for that. The chef has worked in Michelin-starred restaurants before, and they have a 10-course tasting menu, which at least sounds very nice. Also on the ground floor of this building you find the spa, albeit we couldn't quite try it out during our stay. Besides that, of course, there are a couple of amenities and activities you can do. So they're all basically in one building besides the tennis courts, and you can find on the ground floor the Planet Tracker, a kind of kids activity club. So if you want to hand over your kids for a while and keep them busy, you can do that. There's also a 24-hour fitness center that you can use at any time, and even on the third floor there's some kind of like function room for I think yoga classes and any other kind of classes that they want to do. Besides that, there's also some daily activities that you can do. You can see it here, maybe pause it if you're interested. We didn't try it out, but it's a really nice mix of different kind of sports and lifestyle activities that you can try out here. So then, it's time for the summary. I know it's been a long video, there's a lot to talk about on these resorts, there's so many things to do, so many things to show. We stayed at the InterContinental Phuket for 5 nights, and I have to say I'm really impressed. It's a fantastic hotel, especially compared to the InterContinental Pattaya that we recently went to. You can find the review also on the channel, and I was not at all impressed. In comparison to that, the InterContinental Phuket is a fairly new and modern hotel. It's gorgeous and green. I love the site, the hotel site. The rooms are very modern, you hardly see any wear and tear. And also the proximity to the beach is really lovely, and you have a proper beach, unlike the InterContinental in Pattaya, for example. It is a bit odd that you're kind of going underneath the street here, that it's separated in this beach and mountainside. But we didn't really feel it, to be honest. It's still very quick to get around, and they also have some buggies to bring you to your rooms to carry your suitcases, so no worries there. You have the beach right in front of you, and you also have a club lounge, which I think for a beach resort is rather unusual. I think a great feature, and you also have so many pools to go with. So I think if you're going to Phuket, and especially keeping in mind that there's not a lot of other luxury hotels, especially from the big chains, the InterContinental Phuket could be your best bet. I think the location is great, the price is alright, it's fair, and the rooms are fantastic. So if you have the chance, if you are going to Phuket, make sure to give the InterContinental Phuket a try. And as always, if you've already been there, it would be lovely to hear what your thoughts, what your experiences were. It's always nice to hear from the community how you guys experienced it. And that's about it from my side. Again, apologies for the long video. There's so much to talk about. I still have so many other things I would like to show, but I think at 20 minutes we have to cap it. So that's it from my side, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.